Okay, ready?
Ready?
All right, it's already recording.
All right.
All right, so we're here with Sergio.
Hello, boys.
You want to say your real name? I already said
Sergio Martinez.
it. Well, I can.
What?
No, but I can cut it.
Oh, okay, can you? Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep looking. I don't want to look over there.
I'm
right?
telling you,
I'm
that's.
telling you, it is. I see myself.
See, now it's getting real. I told you, I'm trying to.
There we go. Today, this is our brand new show. You're our first guest,
Thank you.
and
Pleasure. Pleasure to be the first guest.
it from a list of like what?
Maybe like 15, 16 guys.
No, it was more.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was probably like 25.
Oh, when we started to expand and people prior to, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, because I just started
Active.
writing down
All
Act-
coworkers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Active
coworkers,
currently
people that
and
we
prior
know,
to.
people that we know from before. So our podcast name is Shift Over.
okay, I like it.
Shift Over.
I get it.
Do you want to know what that means?
After hours talk after work. I don't know. Shift over. Yeah.
So when your shift is over, we go have a couple of beers and just talk about what's
days,
going on.
stories, What happened? What
Yeah.
didn't happen.
Hey, what'd you do at work today? Right? Like, oh, guess what happened? You know, things like that. So
I got plenty
shift
of
over.
those. I got
So we're
plenty
here
of
to tell all the stories about work.
Catchy.
So Richard, can you hand me the thing that's on the side there, please?
Nice little,
So we're gonna get started with this.
all right.
It's blank right now, but
Eventually
me
we'll
see.
have something.
so what we're gonna do?
Put subjects.
No, wait.
Oh.
So what we're gonna do here? We're gonna go with a couple of topics for you to choose from.
Also known as subjects.
He doesn't get to choose if the wheel's spinning.
Right? All right. Those are some pretty good subjects. So if you can think of anything, any stories that you can tell us from any of those topics, if Richard ever finishes over here. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Cool. So spin the wheel.
All right.
Well, spin it hard.
What's red? Nothing.
All right, do it again.
Middle.
Ah, what'd you get?
Bugs.
Bugs?
So that's in like
Like an infestation or something.
station.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna fall in line with hoarders because I was in the same scenario.
Category.
With bugs, and so you guys want to know my craziest bug story that I have for you.
Yeah.
One that just
Let's
stands
hear it.
out, right? What comes right to mind?
What you got?
Does it do rats count as bugs or no?
Rats, roaches,
Okay. Well, all right.
spiders, possums.
Well, they're not bugs, but they're.
I mean, I had to cleanse myself coming back out to the world from the house. That's how bad it was. So it was probably 3 years into my career. It was here in Port Hueneme, I remember.
Uh huh.
Normal looking house. And I'm sure a few of us have been there and will remember the house if you've been there. Old lady lived on her own, disabled,
Mm-hmm.
could not go upstairs.
About how old would you say she was?
50s,
Oh, so not too old.
not too fit, but she was disabled.
Oh.
It was the issue.
Yeah, yeah.
Normal looking house, 2-story house on the outside. You would never think what you would encounter inside the house from
So-
the outside.
Let's make up a name for her.
Maggie.
Okay. So Maggie.
Maggie called us over for an issue with the TV.
Mm-hmm.
She greeted me at the door. First thing I experienced when walking into the house was the cat urine smell.
Those
And
are
I'm
the
sure
best, huh?
And
Don't miss those.
don't miss those. Second thing that catches my attention walking into the house is the living room has a futon bed, a TV, and a computer. And then around the wall is the kitchen.
Okay.
And then the sliding glass door. Everything in the house has a black goo slime. Everything. Her keyboard. The
Was she a
remote-
smoker or?
No smoker. I did not know what it was till after. I'll explain after. But everything in the house had black goo from the walls. Slime. It's like a dark, small little film of slime. And I was there to fix the cable, and reach behind the TV, and the first thing that comes out after I pull the cable, I saw it chewed, was a huge 1 foot rat.
Was it alive?
Dead or alive?
No. Starts, they
Oh.
chase the corners, and the first thing I did was jump on the table. I don't care how many.
I thought we were scared of rats.
You bitch out when you see something like that. So rat comes out. She has 2 dogs. The dogs catch the rat. And I'm
Wow.
not joking. The dogs catch the rat.
That one that you pulled on.
The one that starts running around the room. They catch it. They start eating them alive.
What?
And I'm not joking. And I start freaking out and let the customer know, hey, Maggie, your dog's are eating the rat.
What,
they
what kind
do
of
that
dog
all
was
the
it?
time. They're 2 small, medium-sized dogs.
Not big dogs.
They were just 2
Oh, hell
small
no.
little dogs. They catch them. They start eating them
And she said it happened all the time?
all the time. And I believe her after.
So she
what
didn't
I
eat
saw.
cats.
So you just wait till this is over. This is where it's. So
Oh,
dogs, you're freaked out by a stench. You got slime that you don't know what it is. You see a rat, you bitch out. Dogs eat the rat. I happen to go to the backyard. She has a goat, baby goat,
Like a real goat?
a real baby goat. Cute as
Wow.
shit. Cute as shit.
Oh, nice.
Just a baby goat chilling back there, and probably like 3 feet of weeds. The goat eats the weeds. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Kitchen hasn't been used in months.
Mhm.
Pigeons all along, stacks of pigeon shit on the counter.
It's been used, just not by her.
Yeah.
Pigeons that come in through the window where the goat comes in through the back, and your cabinets have that little
Mhm.
spot up top where you can put vases or something.
Yeah.
Pigeons lay up there, shit on the counter, and there's probably about 4 inches of pigeon shit just hanging
On the
out
counter.
there.
Wow.
And then to top it off, her dogs caught a rat that she did not kill. She put it in a bird cage. Maggie says, "You want to see something cool?" And I thought there's a bird cage with a.
You thought it was gonna be like
I
a
thought
parrot or something?
She lifts this blanket, and I kid you not, this overweight rat with a tooth growing through its nostril, like protrude. I don't know how to say it, but it grew through its skull. So you know how they have a
Wow.
long nose?
Yeah.
There was a tooth going through it. And I
Wow.
couldn't believe she kept this fucking thing alive. Well fed. He literally sat like he was sitting up, breathing hard. Just looking like he was going to say something like
So she would feed him.
she would feed him. She kept him as a pet because he
man.
was so unique.
Which is
And,
unique, but you can't file his teeth. That looks like a circus show.
The motherfucker looked like Splinter.
Wait, was there a bird in there?
There was no bird. Absolutely
It was
no
just
bird.
for him.
She just caught it, and that's what
Wow.
it was. And so I'm in my head. I'm just like, there's nothing. No one's gonna believe this. You got pigeon shit. You got dogs eating rats. You got a splinter cell.
Circus Marcus.
Oh
And
man.
again, I don't know what this goo is everywhere, but even on the cable, you touch it and just this goo.
It was probably rat piss.
All right.
Yeah. So
You're
what it is when it's oil from the rats. When
Mhm.
they rub their skin rubs around something, they leave this oil.
Yeah.
This
Oh.
goo. Yeah.
So they were all over the house.
They were everywhere.
Mm.
And I remember I went to go grab a cable box for her
Mhm.
remote because again, this goo. I
Yeah.
don't know how long this goo takes to get there, but she had it everywhere.
Mhm.
And I noticed her garage. And this, I'm one of those guys. I will if I see somewhere Bet your ass I'm going to ask you, and I'm gonna slide it in very softly, but I'm going to question you ass. So when I went to get the remote and came back in, I noticed her garage door was probably like 3 feet open, just stayed open, and I saw like 4 kittens and just chilling
In the garage?
And I asked her, "Oh, do you have cats out there?" I was like, "No." And this is what her remark. I just lay cat food out there. I've never opened the garage in years.
Wow.
And that it made sense why her whole house smelled like that heavy.
Yeah.
Well, bro, it's got a farm there.
They were multiplying like I counted probably like 24
Wow.
cats that peeked
Oh
under.
my God.
It was insane. And
So that was their house. They took over.
Yeah, and then when you walk in, the other part is, I'm telling you, this was her living space. She had a hard time walking. She was
Right.
She couldn't smell, and
Poor lady, man.
I honestly, I feel embarrassed when you don't want to say anything when you go to people's houses.
Yeah.
Her stairs, when you walk, it's one of those where you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
I explain the room. Futon, computer TV, around the tables, around the walls, the kitchen. To the left is the stairs to go upstairs. Cobwebs and dust. She hadn't been up there in years.
Wow.
It was cobwebs on the left side.
Yeah.
You walked in and it's like you're going to a haunted house. It just she didn't go.
And she lived alone, no family members?
Completely alone, no family members.
Wow. That's sad, though.
It was sad.
Yeah.
But answer me this. So you're knee deep already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what propels you to want to keep working instead of saying I'm out? You know, what drives you to say?
I felt bad for her.
Okay.
I mean, she has nothing other than her TV.
That's her entertainment.
That's
So
her entertainment.
Right.
And I felt bad for her. This lady's halfway in a wheelchair and she's barely moving around through this little space.
Yeah.
And
I ask that because I get, you know,
I
tell the stories, people, that's one of the first things. Why do you keep doing this? Or why? Well, because you feel genuinely bad. You want to help
bad,
people. You know?
And I know that. I mean, I don't judge how people live. I mean, it's whatever. And I mean, none of my business. I'm there to do my job.
Mhm.
And I could walk out. I mean, but someone else.
But you were too intrigued by Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse,
I mean,
Chuck E. Cheese. There's Disneyland going on there, right?
It's a story, man. You don't
what
want.
else am I going to see here?
Yeah, it is.
What's going to pop out next? Let me see
After
it.
that house, no house scares me. Like when people say, "Oh my God, my house is dirty," I look at it, I'm like, "Yes, you got goats and cats and carnivores here." Nothing, no. That one set the bar for dirty house, bugs. It was a mixture of infestation, hoarding, all mixed in, and just someone that just
No, I'm sorry. Did you say it was carpet?
No, it was like laminate,
Like linoleum or something?
Yeah, and then on top of that, I remember one of the thing that probably grossed me out the most, and I remember because it gives me goosebumps. There was dog shit all over the floor.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was being hidden by the smoke. Cats.
Hidden.
The stench is that cat smell is very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I remember she stepped in it, and she had no shoes on. And just hearing that going through the nails, it made me gag.
Yeah. Poor lady, man.
It was
Poor lady.
It was
Poor
so,
Serge.
you walk out of the house and you try to clean yourself before you walk back in. Unfortunately, back to the planet. So, I found out probably 3 years later she had a medical issue. They called 911 because a family member lived right across the street.
And they never helped her with cleaning?
No, well, I mean, they didn't know. They never went in her house, but they just knew she lived there. They knew the reason I found out. I said go, and then they happened to know her because she's the only one with
But
the go.
but it's interesting you say that because I don't want to say commonplace, but it's you find it pretty often where there's that setting and people have family and they either
Never
don't
come
go,
around,
turn their
or
back.
kids or never come around.
Exactly. You live in the same city, correct? Yeah.
Correct. No, but I found out through a neighbor that about 3 years after that, she got sick. The ambulance came, and they saw her living condition, and they condemned the house. I don't know. I think she passed away or they moved her to a home. But
Mhm.
yeah, the house got condemned, and the neighbors were saying they're constantly killing rats coming from the house. Literally, just smacking rats in the street. So,
Well, because they probably cleaned the whole house and they
yeah,
had nowhere to go.
I think they tore down the house.
Oh, wow. Is that
it was
bad?
that bad.
Oh, man.
It was pretty. I'm telling you that slime or whatever that
Mhm.
was. That again, I didn't know at the time, but I had to Google it. And
Wow.
it was the oil from rats. It really.
So when you heard her stepping on that, have you ever stepped on any?
Have I ever? Unfortunately,
Any
yes,
dog?
I have. I had a
Dog
puppy
doo-doo?
shit in my shoe. And, I mean,
How did he?
Right? What?
How did he?
I don't want to talk about it.
What do you
Podcast. It's not a good day, man.
Like he just backed up.
He
And-
I had a puppy and
Oh, it was a
he-
puppy.
Yeah.
Oh,
he shit
okay.
in my time trap, and all I saw was that warm. You know, you slide
into first base.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let me
Oh,
ask
so-
you. So
You put your foot in there.
And it was warm. That's the way. It was
Oh.
nice and warm.
so he just left that for you.
He just
So what? So I mean, what is the process? What, do you go outside? Do you clean it? Do you like, hey, it's yours. It's staying here. I'm going to keep on working. I mean,
what the process of what stepping in shit.
exactly? So what is your procedure
Well,
there?
If you know you stepped and you clean it, I mean, I've stepped, actually not, probably like 2 weeks ago, I stepped in shit. I was pretty pissed off, but all I do is, I didn't care anymore. As long as you see it before you walk in the house, just grab a hose, hit yourself with the hose and get it all off. But
I mean, but well, with that said, it's like, does it upset you when you get to a place like that, door opens and they ask you to put on shoe covers?
Not really. I mean, it doesn't bug me. I have shoe covers ready on time. Sometimes it doesn't make sense why you should.
I guess that's where I'm going.
Sometimes,
Yeah, I'm saying, like, what are we
Well,
talking about
it's to
here?
protect your shoes sometimes.
Sometimes
Right? I just bought these.
So sometimes you realize they were doing you a favor. Not
Yeah.
you,
All right.
them a favor. So
Because I want you to walk out with clean shoes.
correct, yeah. So, yeah, that's probably as far as bugs. That's been the worst one.
Ooh.
Nothing's beat that in my 16 years of cable so far.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
It's got to be I mean, just the description of it obviously sounds really bad. So
yeah, and I know other techs.
has to
did
be
that.
the worst one.
Yeah, I know a bunch of, because I've talked to a few techs, and I remember I mentioned that, and we called out the same street. So yeah, it's
They're nearby the gold
you
lady.
can't forget it once you went in there.
Man,
How
the gold
long?
lady.
How long into your career did that happen?
That was about 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
So now, if I were to ask you, did this job? Did you choose it or did it choose you?
I got this job for the dumbest reason, but it worked out. I love gaming. And I would quit my jobs ever since high school, and I didn't pursue college. I started my working career as just jobs. No, nothing serious. I get a job. I'll see if I like it. I worked for Budweiser, Caterpillar, Fry's, FedEx. I have the issue. If I'm bored, my brain, I don't care how much you pay me, I check out, and my brain's wired to, I can go home and level my character right now. That's how stupid it is. I'm serious. I don't know. I got into gaming, and it hit me like a drug. I quit before this job, I quit every job I've ever been at because of boredom.
Wow.
You think you want to work inside, then you get inside and you hate it. You think you want to work with people, you do it for big, you hate it. You want to work out. I try everything. This one's the only, and I got this job because my mom turned off the internet.
On
My
purpose.
mom, because it was ruining my life, George.
So they're like,
Exactly.
so you're like, well, I'm gonna go get a job where I get it for
I had
free.
a technician come to my house, and I followed him around because my internet was disconnecting. And one of the questions I asked him is if you get free internet, if you
Was it?
it's not really.
No, I wouldn't say. I don't know.
I won't say any names, but I kicked him out of the house. He
Yeah. Well, they could have been here.
Yeah.
Like, screw you! Don't
Yeah.
So
disconnect.
yeah,
me.
I mean that's why I kind of asked. So leading up to that story, like with that said, like with those experiences, is that what now keeps you? I mean, because you said
You know
nothing's
what?
kept
this,
you.
This job is, again, I just wanted free internet. I only applied for free internet. That's all I cared about. My interviews, I remember I thought I went through 3 interviews with the supervisors. I thought I failed the last interview because I asked the stupidest question at the very end.
Is it free internet?
I remember, all right, well, I start next week, and I remember I want to sound smart, so I asked them about my 401k and insurance, even though I didn't give a shit. And then my last question was, oh, yeah, I know I start next week. Can my mom still turn off the internet? that was literally my question. No, you control it, then I'm good. And no, this job has been a little of everything. It checks. It's not a little. Just you touch everything. You're on your own. You meet people. You're troubleshooting. Sometimes you have downtime. It's a little of everything, but in reality, it's probably the customers that make it interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you meet all sorts of people.
Everybody.
All walks of life.
Yep.
Some for good, some for bad.
All sizes.
And it's that right there that we want to, bring to the people.
Absolutely.
I want to share this experiences, right?
Yeah.
I think it takes I really believe it takes a certain individual. Like a lot of people come and go. You see them come and go, whether they fail, whether they get fired, whatever it is. But to be able to, a lot of them come in thinking you just come and hook up a box, give them a password. But it's those scenarios and more that
somebody. I mean, you're there for a minute. You wouldn't believe what some people will tell a cable guy just
course.
because you may never see him again, and you start
that small window.
In that small window, you can learn a lot. You can learn some secrets that they haven't told people.
Whether it's in the attic
you get it.
Well, and the things you see too, because if you really think about it, we go into their closets, their bedrooms, even their family members.
You don't have to go in there, do you?
No, I mean to install.
I gotta go to the closet. You don't have to go in there, do you?
Because you have to run cable lines.
Sometimes we should have.
You don't want to.
We would have a
imagine
reality show. People follow me out. Man, I speak every language. I adapt to everybody. So,
Google language?
I don't need Google. Cable's universal, bro. Everyone.
That's true.
You point and they tell you no good or
no habla, no.
But you see things that even their family members, their closest people they ever know, have not seen.
Absolutely.
And it's not because we're like, oh, I need to get in there because I want to see it. No, it's like you have to get in there to do something.
Yeah. A lot of people, like I said, they don't realize what we need to do as a case. They just think.
Well, they don't understand the process.
Exactly.
You're just going to go to the device.
Them to Like I said, it's not their job to. We just, hey, we need to do this. Do you want us to do it? We should do it. It's
exactly.
Up to them. Yeah, it's up to them. So.
You want to do another topic?
Sure.
All right, where's the wheel?
Where's the wheel?
All right, go ahead and spin it. Spin it hard, though.
Boil it up.
Karens.
Karens.
Have you had a Karen?
Karens.
Or were you the Karen?
No, I've never really been a Karen. Only Karen I can think of. 16 years doing this. I want to say this one Karen comes to mind, and I didn't expect her to be a Karen.
They start nice, right?
It was really nice. Old lady.
You got things.
Mrs. Wilson. Mrs. Wilson.
Right.
Simple. Mrs. Wilson called in because her phone wasn't working.
Okay.
Lives first house on the beach. Beautiful house by the beach.
In front of the water.
Lives alone. I don't know what happened, but I just remember I went to her house, really nice, showed me her phone wasn't working. To find out her phone line goes in her bedroom, her EMTA, that gives her phone.
Her modem.
Service. Yeah, her modem. Goes through her closet, and her closet happened to be filled up, and I needed stuff out of there. Everything was going good till I told her she had to move. We had to pull everything, and I helped her. She's elderly. We start going through. We're talking about closet filled up to here with. shoes, clothes, purses, scarves. And that really set her off, having to move everything. So
Wow.
it went from helping me get stuff out of the closet to me being called names. Incompetent. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Wow.
What,
I gotta move this.
I legit think she was racist. I called her Miss. I remember I called her Miss, and she said, "Don't call me that. I don't own a plantation." That's what she said, and that's it. So don't call Miss to anyone anymore.
Wow.
No. I pissed her off by moving everything out of the closet. I spent 2 hours rearranging her closet, helping her find shoes.
Folding clothes?
Just to get some.
Or was it all piled up, or was it neatly
It
organized?
was piled up. You know, she hadn't opened that closet in forever, but unfortunately, that's
One
where
of the
phone-
spare rooms.
Like
or
you're
something?
embarrassing me,
Yeah,
or
it was either that or just I was making
her work?
it work. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what I think it was. I
Mhm.
think I remember pulling out. Where does this go? Oh, I've been looking for that. Put it over here.
Mhm.
We started making piles, and I think what really set her off, and she had another technician go right back after me, and specifically said, "Do not send me on the note."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how.
Wow.
So she called in and said, "Hey, the last guy."
Or
you left her your name?
The technician going there actually called me and says, "What happened?"
Wow.
It says, "Do not send me."
Oh,
So-
hell no.
and I explained the situation. And the ironic part is he had the total opposite experiences. He said that lady was lovely. She gave
She
him
was the nicest.
cookies and was,
Well, he didn't call her
You
Miss.
told not to move the stuff out. Now, if I was having a bad day, I'd be like, "Hey, man, you have to move the stuff out."
yeah. So it was in.
You did tell him not to call her Miss, right?
I told him everything that happened.
Call her Sir.
Well, nowadays it's they.
They, he,
He.
she.
Yeah.
But if they don't identify as any gender, then it's they. Because she don't want to be a miss.
I as a woman getting into a club, and it works.
If I get half off, I'm good.
For the next 30 minutes, I am a fool.
Oh, man.
I get in for free. No, yeah, I've never had a customer talk shit like that, and
Wow.
and like I said, I've had customers start the thing, but at the end of the call, we're having.
You're the hero, right?
Yeah,
You're the hero.
we're friends.
Yeah.
But that one
Because you
was
got
the
everything
one-
working, yeah.
The one in which I don't mind.
What did you say? What was the problem? Oh, the phone didn't work.
The phone.
It was literally the phone jack in the closet somehow got messed up. I can't imagine how because it was piled. I mean,
Well,
there was no one getting
When she
to
threw
it.
all her stuff in there.
Yeah,
Was it-
but I don't see how there's been stuff on it. I don't see how it got.
Mm.
Was
messed
it one of those like Mickey Mouse phones? It was a family heirloom.
No. It was just normal phone. Just had no phone
Yeah.
service. These people, again, depending what generation you're from, you need a house phone if you're from before cell phones. It's just a thing you're used to, and that's she's not a cell phone.
Was that the only phone in the home?
It was actually. She had a big house. She lived on that. Her master bedroom was on the first floor, and she probably had maids live upstairs. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad. Just that's the one that is burned in my brain after 16 years of being cable guy. So
And that's the
it's
hard
not too
part.
bad.
The hard part is when you're there and they call you names like this, like,
That's the
what a-
one thing I remember. I kid you not. I remember when I left that house and got into the vehicle, I started punching the steering wheel. I was I was that mad. Like I've never had someone talk
So you
like
held
that.
you held your composure the whole
Oh
way.
yeah, no,
You're like,
yeah.
I'm light skinned. What the hell?
But I own a plantation.
What?
I'm sorry. No, I was pissed off. I remember punching the steering wheel, and I remember her name and the exact house. That's how.
But see, that's that quality that I'm speaking of. That for this job, really, to be able to take that, do your job, and be able to exit in a professional manner,
yeah,
it takes
but,
a lot.
I mean,
it takes a lot out of you.
It does, but I feel like being a representative of a phone, you probably get that all day.
Yeah.
Customer service somewhere, which
Oh, yeah.
you know those people. So we get it.
And over the phone, people are braver too. They say
absolutely. They will say
worse
anything.
things.
And there's no, you don't meet the person, so your balls are bigger.
That's true, because in person, a lot of the times people are a little more courteous.
Yeah.
So when somebody calls you that, they're like, I don't give a damn.
I mean,
I'll
like
call you whatever I
even,
want.
even for me, I consider myself one of those individuals. But it's like, you know, you hit the door, a couple of F-bombs, whatever about me, the company. Okay, cool. But there's going to be a certain line where I'm going to make it clear, like, hey, I'm here to help you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so if you
Once
want to let
they
me help you,
once they
then they'll
understand
start
that,
to
they
wind
use
down. And
the
usually by the
Sorry.
end, you're a genius. What did you do? I
Yeah.
unplugged it and plugged it back.
Yeah.
Well, especially,
You're right.
especially, you know,
I'm
they're
certified.
they're pissed off because the internet hasn't been working for a couple of days. Their kids are yelling at
Well,
them, Mom,
and
Dad,
I
Mom,
understand
Dad."
that. I mean, we have service, and we know that we needed to. So you understand what I mean,
Yeah.
we're there to do a job. I want to get you up and running too. I don't want you to
But-
call back.
But gas on that fire is just, oh, the cord's unplugged.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Depending on who you are, I'm going to point that out. You know what I
Sometimes
mean?
you gotta be careful how fast you fix the problem because that could cause a problem.
Like, let me reboot the box so it takes another 10 minutes.
Yeah,
But-
so, no,
But they're
yeah.
your best friends when you leave sometimes,
Absolutely.
right? Because
like I said, you in this job you can make a lot of friends, and you run into them in the real world.
Oh, yeah.
They say hello, you notice them or they
Mhm.
notice you, and they'll remember you.
especially if you didn't fix it,
Oh,
they
yeah.
talk. There goes fucking Sergio. My internet still don't work. Hey, Sergio, my internet don't work yet, bro.
It's not
I mean, it is true. The community that we live in, even though it's a county, it can be pretty small.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been to a
Oh, yeah.
place or places where I've been like, hey, I know you. You came to my house, and then you think, did I fix it? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like, you're awesome. All right, cool, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've never had any. I mean, I've met a lot of people out in public, and it's always been good. Nothing. And again, I take pride in fixing, doing my job good. I
Mhm.
really do enjoy what I do, and
Mhm.
I mean, I'm there to fix your issues, so I'm on your team.
Now, what? You've been with the company 6 years. The one you
16.
currently work for, 16. Yeah,
Going on
16.
17. Yeah.
So, with your coworkers, any funny stories you've?
I mean,
Nothing crazy, but
What stands
Well,
out?
what stands out?
with my coworkers.
Yeah.
There's a time I thought my coworkers stole my van, but it really got stolen. I kid you not. 1 year into, I think George was even one of the guys I called, but I thought he stole
Yeah.
my van. Thought they
Yeah.
were playing a joke on me.
Yes, sir, I'm driving your van
Yeah,
and my
yeah.
van, too.
It was,
Oh yeah. So tell us that one.
So 1 year. This was 1 year into my career. It was a perfect storm, man. It was a Friday. Weekend was about to start, and I forgot to give a customer a remote for a cable box. He let me know, hey, you forgot to give me a remote, and I told him I'll swing by at the end of the shift, give him a remote. It was in Port Hueneme. Didn't think anything of it. I had an old Dodge van. No lock. You hit the button to lock it, and that's how you lock it.
Did it have the roll down window?
Roll down windows. It looked like a potato cannon on top. Old school van. I loved it. That was my
Yeah.
first van. I remember this. I parked myself in the street and put it in park. Turn off the vehicle. Leave the keys in I left the keys in. At that time, I didn't know why. I left the keys in the ignition.
That was
every
your
time.
first mistake.
Never had done it for a good year. Nothing ever happened.
You figure who's gonna want to take this old ass van?
Yeah. So I leave it in the street, get up on the sidewalk, and follow the sidewalk path to his door. And some of those doors, you walk down the sidewalk, and the door's to the right, so it's in an indent, so you have to kind of get to the door, and you lose sight of the street. Literally, I kid you not, 3 minutes. Hand him the remote. He told me the brand joke, and it's the weekend, boys. It's Friday. I'm walking back to my van. I'm looking at the sidewalk. My head's down. Step on the street, look up, and the van's gone.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there, and I'm smiling. Well, someone's playing joke today. Someone's got a joke. and there's
Someone's got that.
someone's got something.
Yeah.
And I sat there, I kid you not, for like 3 minutes just looking around. Then I start kind of going through, there's little alleys, and they're condominiums, so there's little alleys. So I start going on around everywhere. And I'm running like a little gazelle through the real quick, just running through these things. And then panic starts to hit because I'm not seeing the van, and
nobody's calling you.
I called two prankster coworkers. I think George would be one, and an ex coworker.
I remember that call.
Armando.
Yeah.
Only 2 people I can think for some reason. I remember, hey George, how you doing? Yeah. You don't happen to have my van. It's just so weird. Just say like, you don't happen to have my van. Like, it's like
I was in another city too. I think I was.
I don't know that.
No, I know, but
know you stole my van.
I think I was.
You could have came and moved my van for all I know. And no, I mean the reaction I think was like, what? I remember like, what are you
like, what the hell? Yeah.
And I just remember, just getting I just hung up real.
Yeah.
And no, I then you get panic. The panic kicks in, so you got your van stolen.
Now that van's not so shitty after all.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
It was not a good feeling. I mean, you thinking you're losing your job. Call your supervisor. Obviously, his weekend's about to start gets ruined because your van got stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Call the cops.
Wait, but you synced your meter. Did you sync your meter?
We didn't use the meter back then, bro.
That's usually the first thing,
That's the only thing he had with them.
Right? Meter stayed at the house. And you got all your jobs at the last minute. You did all your. Yeah, so I called him. I remember it was pretty scary, but pretty funny. I mean, the cops came, asked questions. I remember I wanted to say that someone hit me.
Did your boss believe you when you?
Oh, I told him. I mean, he was. I remember he was driving me through the neighborhood to see if we could find it, and I remember just kind of peeking out the window, thinking
he's 6 years old.
Yeah, like, am I gonna lose my job? Should I take some tools before?
I need some electrical.
You know what I remember? So after all of that happened, the supervisor calls us. Hey, you guys didn't take the van? And then we're calling each other like, no, I didn't take the van. So then we're like, all right, well, it's in so-and-so place. Can you guys just drive around and see if you can find it?
I remember.
So then you have like, I don't know, 10 vans all over.
The cops are pulling every van that we're thinking it's stolen.
And we're driving around like we're cops. I mean, searching for
every
them.
time you see 10, is that it? Is that it? It's like,
No, but we knew what it looked like.
I remember it.
It was like the oldest, most beat up.
I'm telling you, it's like
all the ones we got from
it's like
America.
if you're trying to steal somebody. It's one of those vans. You open it up and that's how you get people.
It was like an extra long,
big old tank.
Dodge.
It was a tank. Bro, it was a tank.
Was it in the 80s? No, 90s, huh?
I don't remember that.
I think it was from the 90s.
Yeah, that thing was big. But they ended up finding it. I remember it was.
And I'm like, I fucking told you I didn't take it.
They found it in the neighborhood, the next neighborhood. Whoever stole it, they didn't catch who stole it, was unloading stuff into a vacant house that was for sale. And the only reasons we found is the neighbor, the dog kept going off because someone was in a house in the backyard of a house that was for sale.
Because they were unloading the stuff out of your van.
Whatever they're taking from the van,
like
they
boxes.
were throwing it into this random house. And the neighbor, his dog was going crazy, and he called the cops saying, "Hey, there's someone entering this property that no one should be in." So apparently the guy parked the van at a corner and was taking a shopping cart and loading it, taking it halfway down the block and dropping it in the backyard of this vacant house.
It's pretty efficient.
Pretty efficient, yeah. And he at the end they didn't catch him. He ran. I thought he didn't take anything. The meter was there. It was before, again, we utilized the meter. Like, no equipment was missing. He actually, at the end, I found out I'm thinking he didn't take any. He took 2 drills and then basic cable tools, and that was it. So
Nothing to get fired over.
luckily, I was pretty amazing at my job. They didn't want to fire me.
Ah,
But yeah,
That's
that
a-
was
is that
That's
what
a
that
different.
was?
That's a different show.
yeah, that was that's for a different episode. All right, so this one is a little different. This was me actually being scared at someone's house. Not scared for my life, just uncomfortable, too afraid to even look anymore. You just said,
How's that?
I remember getting to this house, and you can tell. I don't know. Sometimes you can get a vibe from a house that like
It's like cold.
homies.
You
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
cold.
yeah.
Oh.
You see a few people hanging out in the middle of the day outside. Not to profile, but you can tell they're homies or something.
Gang related.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Say you're there and you try to. I don't know. I always try to just be cool. I don't want to act professional too much. Hey, what's up, boys? You just say, well, cool. You guys all right? Have a good day.
I like that pedal too.
Yeah.
All right.
Little sick ass socks, bro.
I get some?
Like sock check.
Yeah.
Like these are work boots. You wouldn't like them.
But they're still tote.
I remember going into this house. Guy was real cool. I mean, you could tell, he was on something right away. You're talking like, yeah, it's over here, just grabbing his nose. He's doing a little too much.
Sweating.
Yeah, sweat. I mean, he was twitching for no reason, but you kind of, okay, this guy's something going on with him. He's on a good one. And I kid you not, there's probably about 4 or 5, I want to say 19 to 22-year-olds in the front yard drinking.
Wow.
Just what you would see out of a movie. Paper bag, they're all just in the middle of the day, nothing
Mhm.
on the middle of the week. And you walk in the house.
So no wonder you wanted to just walk straight.
Yeah, you walk in the house, and I kid you not, they were bagging up coke, and I saw it right instantly. And the first thing I said, just don't look around. Just you only look at what you need. So I remember there's probably about 15 heads. They're all on couches, using boxes, anything as a flat surface, and they're just splitting their stuff, bagging it up.
Damn.
And,
A whole factory going on.
whole factory, man.
That's that. I don't get involved in business. It's not my business to
that's
get
where
involved in.
My voice changed. Where's the problem? I immediately, my attitude changed real quick. Guy was real cool, and as far as again, you see these young kids, and I don't know if it was gang or just a group of guys. The cable got cut there. Someone cut his
Ooh.
and I went in his backyard. They needed their internet.
Was there like an alley in the back, or
There wasn't. No alley in that one. There was a pole on the neighbor's yard,
Mhm.
and his line came from. It was kind of crossing, and I walked around the house, and I noticed right away he had no cable to the house. And I went, "You have no line, man. Where's your line?" And he was confused as too. And I found his line on his neighbor's side, and yeah, it was actually.
what?
I felt bad on that one because he had issues. I found out he had issues with his neighbors. And I think his neighbor purposely cut the line.
How did he cut it from the house?
Well, because it was dangling, kind of, it comes from the pole over the wall, and it was within reach with something.
Oh, okay. It wasn't very far from the wall.
It wasn't.
Oh,
It wasn't.
okay.
So the neighbor somehow cut it because it was dangling too low.
Mhm.
And I felt bad telling them, they had issues already. I remember he said, "Yeah, we're going to take care of them tonight." And I was like, "Oh my God, no!"
You're like, la 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 la. I didn't hear that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Only time I've kind of felt scared, I can say I kind of just wanted to get in, get out. I mean, as far as being uncomfortable, and it takes a lot to get me uncomfortable. There's a lot. I can't take 50. I would 2-on-2, 2-on-1. I can do 15-on-1. I won't do it, boys.
Yeah, I had one of those with some. I want to say they were. They had a lot of swastikas tattooed on them.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I don't want to say what they were, but or I don't know what they were, but one guy just got out of jail, and he was acting the same way. You know, like, who's this guy? Who is he?
Yeah, questioning.
Yeah.
He's
And the
looking
owner-
he's
yeah.
looking, nah, he's here to fix the cable. Nah,
Exactly.
Nah, I don't like the way he's
Yeah.
looking.
Is he undercover?
Yeah.
What's all that stuff from?
I remember something. Yeah.
Why'd your fan have a
Same
blinky
thing.
light?
Oh yeah, because they think the cable vans, any cable company is
blame the movies.
exactly blame the freaking movies. Yeah,
Blame the movies, man. They gave us a bad rep.
exactly.
I wear a vest for work, a tool that, and that doesn't help. Sometimes, but sometimes
do they look at you like what?
Sometimes I do get authority. Hey, give me a Pepsi out of the fridge right now. Okay, all right.
You heard your mom?
That's illegal.
Yeah, no, it's that's the only time I felt pretty uncomfortable that I can recall, at least.
Yeah,
but
I know.
it's not a bad job.
So
But it
what?
feels uncomfortable too when you're there and they're and you know that it's
Everyone's
like
watching,
Yeah.
and they're
You're on the spotlight.
Exactly.
you know
Especially-
if you say something wrong and you're like, fuck, I'm not gonna get out of here.
Or sometimes someone says something stupid and you can't say anything back to defend yourself. You just kind of just
Do you say, hey, I got a GPS in my truck?
No, you wait.
I can run pretty quick.
You wait till that's all done. You get to the door and say, "So who's gonna pay the $49.99?" They're down the street.
Yep.
You guys don't give me a call cop right now. Bye.
You're over here calling somebody.
Yeah. No.
Come get me.
Yeah, help me. They got me cornered. Yeah. No. It's
Yeah.
It's there's more, but that's probably the one that I kind of went in and out. Didn't I thought I killed a neighbor by saying something by telling him he cut the line from the house.
Yeah. Made you feel bad enough already.
I did kind of feel bad. I was like, I hope nothing happens, Mr. Santiago over there. For whatever happened.
That's not his real name.
No, these are all
these
names have been changed for the protection of the subjects.
yes.
The innocent and the guilty.
Yes.
Correct.
So on that note, we're gonna end today's episode, and we want to do around 45 minutes. This way, most people that are
Good little
commuting from work, back and forth, either to work or going home from work, they can listen to a 45-minute episode.
Okay.
Sandbagging on the job.
Cable guy stories.
Yeah.
One.
And we don't bore them to death.
Confessionals.
So hopefully they can come back and listen to some more.
I'll be. Hopefully you guys invite me back.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna.
Happy to be the first too.
Yeah,
Appreciate
the
it.
first one, and not the last one.